Right, yo, what's going on? Hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the time, and welcome back to another episode of Why Not Me. So, today I'm going to be taking you through an upper body session. I'm actually just having meal number 4 of the day, which is my pre-workout meal. It's a late one tonight just because work's been so busy. I've been doing a lot of check-ins and also just a lot of content creation, admin, that sort of stuff. Bryony had to get herself a new car as well, so had to get that all sorted out as well. So today's been pretty hectic. So the session's a little bit later. It is about 7 p.m, 10 past 7 at the minute. So I'll probably get to the gym at around 7:45 after I've eaten this meal. But the meal today, before we train, is a bagel thin with 10 grams of jam, 4 bacon medallions, 3 whole eggs, 1 kiwi, and 80 grams of grapes. So that's the pre-workout meal. I'm going to give you a bit more of a prep update once I'm in the gym, once I'm training, once I'm showing you the highlights, because it'll be a lot easier then. Also, I'll have time to actually give you a proper update rather than rush through it, because one, I need to eat this meal, and two, I'm getting hungry. So I'll wait until I'm training to give you an update on my prep and how things have been going. But obviously, I just got back from Malta recently. I mentioned in my previous vlog that going away on holiday for me during a prep is something that years ago I probably would have been like, hell no, but it worked out really well. But as I said, I'll get into the details once I'm training. But I'm going to eat this meal and I'll see you after the gym, talk you through my session, and then we'll go from there.
All right, cool. So it's actually the next day, and I'm just going to let the training clips from my upper body session just run over. And I thought I'd just give you a bit of an update with regards to prep. I haven't done one in a while. I also didn't want to just talk over my training clips in terms of exercise selection and my form and what I'm thinking about, and I've just done that so many times. So just wanted to have a little bit of a chat and fill you in on what's been going down. So last time I gave an update, it was before I went to Malta. I went to Malta from Wednesday through to Saturday, the 12th of March to the 15th, which was a great trip, really needed. And man, it's just so nice to be in the sun and just away from the UK. I feel like the UK just has like this ball of, it's like just, I don't know, I don't know if it's just in my head, it just feels like just stress, and like everything just feels a bit more pressurized in the UK. And then whilst you're away, even though I was still doing some work, it just didn't feel like that. It was just a little bit more laid back. The people were a little bit more laid back. And yeah, a really nice place, Malta. So I definitely recommend it for a little trip away. We actually went in winter and the weather was great still. It was like 20 degrees most days. And yeah, incredible country. I also had a couple of off-plan meals in Malta as well. But what I'd done to basically set that up is had a few meals where they didn't have carbs. So I'd have like 2 out of my 5 typical meals a day would have 0 carbs, just to kind of account for any extra calories that I would have for the meals out that I had whilst I was there. And the reason why I had those meals was more so to do with the position that I'm currently in with my physique, the body composition that I'm at, and how many weeks out I am. This isn't to say to anybody, clients, people watching, people who want to compete, that whether or not you're on prep, it doesn't matter, you can just go out and eat whenever you want to eat, because you need to follow the plan. But I think it depends on the circumstances, and obviously every case is different. But I think because of how lean I am, with how long I have to go until my first showing, and obviously how much time I have, that was really the reason why. And whilst I was in Malta, I actually ended up losing body fat. I got leaner. My body weight's been moving really well, and I think Malta wasn't any exception to that. I didn't honestly expect to even lose any body weight at Malta. I planned to hold my body weight at the very least, or gain a little bit, and it just continued to move down. So yeah, got back Saturday, got back to work, and body weight came up. Well, actually, it kind of just held a little bit around the 101 mark. I dropped my baseline diet a little bit more, just to push things a little bit harder, and ended up seeing a 99 on the scale, which haven't been that light since obviously my last prep. That was a new low. Went back up to around 100 kilos, and it's been sitting at around 100 kilos on average at the minute. I've been putting in high days here and there. I had a couple of high days back to back, on Thursday and Friday last week. So yeah, the baseline diet that I'm currently on is doing what it needs to do in terms of pushing me for fat loss. I just have to be careful that I honestly don't spend too long on those calories and put in high days. I have been contemplating bringing up my baseline food, but so far I'm not losing anything with performance. I feel great. Food focus isn't too high. And yeah, like I'm sitting 4 kilos away from my previous stage weight, with about 18 and a half weeks to go until my planned first show. So we're in a really, really good spot. Which brings me on to my next point, which is I am contemplating doing an earlier show. And reason being is because if I do an earlier show, so the initial shows that I've planned are the PCA show on the 27th of July. That's my first planned show now. I also plan to do a UKD FBA show in September. However, I might be able to do it in May if I'm ready. I also might be able to do a PCA show earlier in June. If I can do those 2 shows in May and June, that gives me a little bit more time to have a diet break between May and June to September, which is when I'd next compete. And a longer diet break just means higher food for longer, get a bit fresher. It breaks up the year a little bit better. Whereas if I just compete in July, I haven't really got that long to have that much of a diet break. So I'm contemplating it. I'll just see how things line up over the next couple of weeks. And I know I'm self-coached, but I'll probably send photos to a few people that I trust just to get their opinion and whatnot, and see their thoughts. But yeah, I'll probably do an earlier show, but we shall see. Cardio is still 20 minutes on rest days, and steps is still at 9,000 steps a day. Only real change that's happened since I last updated you is I've changed one of my rice meals for potatoes because food is lower and I want to feel a little bit fuller with potatoes. You'll also notice in the training clips that I'm in a different gym. So I'm now in EP Jungle, which is a tremendous gym, really good gym, spoiled for kit. One of the things about Malta is great country, incredible, but my God, the gyms are awful. And you just realize how blessed you are in the UK with gyms. We have so many incredible gyms. I know everyone says that they go to the best gym and this is the best gym. Like there's at least like 20 plus 25 gyms that are elite in the UK. Like you can be anywhere probably in the UK and you're going to be relatively close to an elite level gym, which is a blessing. So started training at EP Jungle, which is great kit, and progressing well, feeling good. There's a posing room. I can actually get a look at my physique post-workout, which is good and useful for me, obviously, at this point in time. One of the things I noticed since getting back from Malta is I am very flat. I am pretty flat, and that's the reason why I put in those back-to-back high days when I got back. And it's just about keeping an eye on that and making sure that I don't run flat for too long, because I am tall. And when you're tall and you're flat, my God, it's not a great look. You don't want to be tall and flat on stage, that's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And obviously gunning for a little bit more fat loss, so I am feeling a little bit more tired today. I recently put out a reel though talking about hunger and just, man, to be able to choose to literally diet and starve yourself. Controlled starvation is a blessing. Like you have to have that perspective. Complaining about being hungry when you are eating 5 meals a day and you have the ability to go out and get any food you literally want. It's normal to be hungry. What did you kind of expect? So I think that's really important to remember in a contest prep. But yeah, anyway, I really appreciate you watching this video. Make sure you subscribe. I will see you next week. Speak to you soon.